Welcome to VaderBox, our version of American Idol meets Siskel and Ebert. I'm Bambi Francisco, and with me as always is Ezra Roizen, and our guest host once again is Brian Asher. He's a venture capitalist at Venrock. Brian, thanks again for joining us.
Great to be here.
Okay,
Thanks.
on VaderBox we always talk about one company, now at least, and that company is going to be Glam Media, and we're going to try to cover the pitch. We're going to try to cover whether this is a novel idea, whether this company is making money the right way, and whether you'd invest in the company. So let's start off with the pitch. I think we have Samir Arora giving his pitch, and Glam Media is a 5-year-old vertical ad network focused on female-oriented content such as fashion, makeup, home decorating, parenting, and now with Brash, Glam is also creating an ad network for males.
Hi, I'm Samir Arora, the Chairman and CEO of Glam Media. Glam created the concept of vertical content networks, which brings together a targeted audience, which is women in our area, along with brand advertisers together, so that you can really reach effective brand advertising and engagement. Today, Glam is the 10th largest media company by reach as defined by Comscore, and we recently, yesterday, also launched our second demo focus with Brash.com, our men's demo. So think of Glam and Brash as a vertical content network that brings the best content and sites and audience for brand advertisers to effectively be able to run and deploy their campaigns.
Okay. Very well done. I mean, you look at him and you say he should be the CEO of Glam. Anyway.
Except for the fact he's a guy.
Yes, but yeah.
I figured Glam Media was always run by a woman. I think it's cool, but
he's got style.
He's got style.
He's
the
got
pink
style,
background's
clearly.
got. No, he's got. Look at the handkerchief. But
Yeah.
but I think you know, when you think of ad networks, first thing Glam Media is like top of the list. He pops to mind. I think for most people as one of the sort of leading, hard-charging, well, so far at least, well-implemented ad networks. I think the trick is going to be for them though, that this is a tough economy, and they have a lot of, you know, my guess is they have a pretty big beast to feed. So
a pretty big hurdle because they always
they raise tons of money, and they have to generate huge amounts of ad sales in an economy that's going to have. My guess is, although online ad sales are continuing to do okay, you're going to find just a very competitive landscape for them.
Well, for now, online ad sales are going, but clearly every magazine, even the magazine, People magazine or any fashion magazine, they're not seeing the advertising there, and it'll probably spill over to the web to some extent. So my concern is I'm wondering how they actually manage covering their advertising guarantees to their properties that they've reached out to, earlier properties.
Yeah, if there's inflexibility in the model.
Brash as well.
Well, I believe they've backed off on that. And actually, one of the things that they did so well is get past that chicken and egg stage that every ad network faces of, I can't get publishers till I get advertisers, I can't get advertisers unless I have enough reach.
Yeah.
And it was an expensive strategy of going out and offering up fronts, but it worked. And he was able to get reach that became more and more impressive, which made him more and more essential as a buy to the advertisers in this category. He also started with some fairly commerce-oriented segments of fashion and beauty, and did it in a way where he also got some great premium content to, again, increase his credibility to the big brand advertisers. So it was an expensive strategy, but it's really worked for them so far, and I think moving into men's is a smart move for them.
Really, do you think moving into men is a smart move right now? I mean, to expand your reach and not just, I don't know, try to ride this out, because I don't think there's much advertising for men, and if it's going down for female-oriented content.
Well, I don't think he's going to have to do the same brand of him and his company as he did for Glam. He was starting from nothing, and truly was one of the pioneers of the vertical ad network. So that's all behind him. They know who he is. He can get meetings with anyone he wants to. He probably won't have to offer the rich upfront guarantees. And so you've already got a sales force. You've already got reach. You've already got the infrastructure. It's not a great leap to say, you know, let's do this for the men's equivalent.
And this is an example of somebody who's really being aggressive during a downturn.
I think to Brian's point, I think you have most of the hard parts done. His team knows who to call to now sell an ad product to advertisers. So he can now go with Brash and pick up the phone and people will be receptive to their message. I think it's going to be still tricky to get great properties because now there's a lot more competition for those great properties out there for other ad networks and ways of monetizing. So it's never an easy game, but they should be able to have a pretty good run at it because they should be able to be very credible in their ability to deliver advertising dollars.
What's your sense? What valuation would you get? And it sounds like you like this company.
I do. You know, we're early stage investors. 110 raised. I can only imagine what the valuations were. I believe they were 400 or 500 million. You know, this is not the environment to be placing those sorts of bets without knowing what their revenue is and how much is dropping to the bottom line, if anything. Yeah. Those are rich valuations in this kind of economy.
What are the challenges? I mean, you're, again, we talked about this in the last show, you were one of the investors in Adify, Ben Rock was. So any lessons there from as that company grew? Any lessons that you can share with Amir and his team in terms of as you grow this company, watch out for this?
It really is just, you know, advertising is a somewhat cyclical business, so it's tempering the growth in your expenses with the ability to continue to sell, and defending your margins long term as a middleman, which every ad network is to some extent, is critical. And I think he's doing it smartly. If you listen carefully to his pitch, he doesn't talk of himself as an ad network. He's a content network. He's trying to provide more and more value to his publishers other than just selling ads on their behalf. So there's lots of content syndication that goes on, and these are all ways to get deeper and deeper in with your publishers, which should enable you to continue to take a meaningful cut of the ad revenue.
And I think following on that, if you talk to folks who are generally in this business about forward-looking strategies, it's about how do I keep engagement across my whole network? So how do I drive traffic across the network so I keep people on my properties? How do I begin to offer more integrated kinds of campaigns? Because I think you're going to move from simply just awareness campaigns to how do I deliver outcomes, at least some form of outcome for engagement measurement and so on for my advertiser. So just serving up display ads is going to be not enough in the long run. I think clever people are going to go beyond that. And I think that it's a matter of now expanding in categories and focusing on categories that are effective for advertisers. So some places I'm sure yield better than others for the advertiser. So how do you think about those parts of our network and expanding those and being very watchful of the numbers inside of your, you know, what in their case is an empire of properties. So how do you basically, you know, have a team that basically is very intelligent about that? So not an easy business. They're in a good spot, but if they don't continue to innovate, they'll definitely find, I mean, they're competing with some very substantial companies from an ad network and revenue management standpoint, so it's not going to be, it's not a no-brainer. This is big-time stuff. You know, Amir's done a fantastic job running this company and really built up and raised tons of money and built a great property. Can it return? There was those rumors of, you know, like a year ago that they were valued at $1 billion and all this stuff, and you know, there's always been a lot of buzz around the company. It's just going to be a question of what someone will pay at this level and what a big brand, you know, what a Time Warner or somebody values this brand at some point. So, but built a great business.
Yeah, Samir's a great visionary and great promoter in all the good senses of that word. And you know, it's a plausible scenario. I don't see big media companies making those sized acquisitions anytime soon. I think they're best off focusing on growth and profitability and being poised to go public when and if the markets return.
Okay, well that's good. I think his goal is to be profitable this quarter. At least that's what he told me.
Yeah.
So, well, good advice for him and a good analysis. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Ezra.
Sure.
You've been watching VaderBucks. I'm Bambi Francisco. We'll see you next time on Vader TV.